New Japan Pro Wrestling Road to Castle Attack. The first night this happened today, February 14th, 2021, or depending where you are, it could be the 15th. We are SOS Wrestling Network Reborn, goddammit. I am Stardust Shiwaku, the Pro Wrestling Fly God. I got so many damn nicknames, I can't even list them all right now. But I'm joined here by my illustrious tag team partner, the man with the plan, the man across the pond, man. My good homie, my good mate, LK. How do you, brother?
I'm living the dream. Hopefully everyone out there has had a great to good Valentine's Day, and if you're alone, do something that you'll enjoy, that you'll self kind of heal, rather than getting bitter and angry about people who are fucking having a nice time with their partner. But Dion, I tell you what, it's a great day. Valentine's Day, had a great day with the female. But sir, what a way to start off with this New Japan show. How do you feel about fucking win-loss tie? It's got to be a win.
This is a win. It started off very ominous in a way, though, LK, and we're going to get into that here in a little bit. And I really, between this New Japan show and there was an Impact show, I'm going to get my eyes on that, and maybe here in a couple days, day or two, if you want to record about that, we can do that. I was actually watching the Muto and Go Shiozaki match before we were coming on here, so taking in a lot of wrestling. Wanted to try to provide you guys as much content as possible, because that's what we're here for. So going to try to get all that stuff out to you. So before I was doing all that, in the midst I was doing all that, I actually stayed up, or not stayed up, but I was up and I was watching the New Japan, the UFC pay-per-view. I was watching some of that last night. So I got me some UFC in, kind of had like a little bit of a nap, got up for the New Japan show, and yeah, been pretty much watching wrestling all day, man. And I'm like, dude, that's kind of one of the best ways I can think to spend a Sunday is just watching wrestling all day. And I rarely get to do it because I work so much now, but I just enjoyed it. So wrestling has been my Valentine today, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Exactly, that's good. I'm glad you're one of those people, as it's some of the people who are very aggy about, but we move. But yeah, I agree. Shows a win. How was the? Obviously, we'll probably do a review sometime in the coming days of the Noah show that took place at the Budokan. How was the main event with Muto? Everyone fucking knows that Muto won the world title, or the GHC title. How was that match in particular? Because I heard mixed reviews about it.
I'm kind of in the early stage, kind of where it's getting to probably the middle point of the match. Which the video that I found is actually on YouTube, and it's a channel I found on YouTube. I'll go ahead and shoot you that link when we're done recording here, okay? But they also have the Keno, and I think the Masasaku Funaki match for the national title as well on that channel. So I'll shoot you that link.
Dude, I'll send you the full show.
Well, do me that too. Yeah, I'll do that. But I was kind of in the early stages of the match. I hadn't really gotten to the meat and potatoes of the match. I had heard a lot of, mixed things here or there. Kaiji Muto, before we even go forward, is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, probably top 5. And people got to remember, my man is 58 years old. So it's like, I'm sure he didn't decide to book himself as the champion. So, I mean, it's
crazy to think that he's only the third man in history to win the Triple Crown, the IWGP, and the GHC heavyweight title. That's absolutely incredible.
Dude, that was another thing I was doing, okay, before we came on here. I was actually looking at a list of guys, gentlemen, if you will, who have had, who have at one point either held, I only do, I guess, 2, because I think when you get one in there, it's kind of like, oh, well, you got to win this one and this one. I was looking at the list of the guys who have won all, 3 of the big pro wrestling titles over in Japan, and I was looking at the guys who, all right, they only need this title to win all 3. Looking at guys like Suzuki, he only needs the IWGP heavyweight title to complete that trifecta, or a guy like Kenta Kobashi, who was retired, never won the IWGP heavyweight championship in his own right. Same with Jun Akiyama, never won the IWGP heavyweight title. It's just weird like that. Then you got guys like Shinya Hashimoto, who never won the GHC heavyweight title. Guys like Vader, same, never won the GHC heavyweight title. It's weird when you get that kind of crossover dynamic with these promotions, because you kind of get that with Western promotions, but I don't think it's that big of a deal over here. Especially because how they, handle titles lately. Back in the day, I thought it was maybe a bigger deal than what it is now. But now it's just like, all right, yeah, he won the Impact title. He won the WWE title. It's not as a big of accomplishment as it was back in the day. And I think over in Japan, I think it's still a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, because a lot of times you got to remember, if people are kind of like new to Japanese pro wrestling, is very loyal to a company. So the idea of a guy going to New Japan, winning the IWGP heavyweight title, and then going to Noah, that alone is kind of like, what are you doing? Like the effect that Ishimori got when he came from Noah to New Japan took a while to kind of cool and simmer down, to win the GHC title in Noah, and then to go from there to All Japan, and how long it took Jun Akiyama to come back. It was such a big deal when he appeared on, I think it was the anniversary show in Noah when they did Kenta versus Marufuji, and he came back, and that was such a big deal. And I think it's incredible that even 3 people have done that. But I like the fact that in Japanese pro wrestling, it's loyalty to a company. I think it's great for the fans, because then they can truly get behind their guy, knowing that they're not, when contract signing comes up, the only thing they have to worry about is the big Vince, is the big New York, the WWE. That's all they got to worry about is, are they going to get a WWE? Oh, they're not. Cool. Well, they're not going to any other Japanese promotion. So, but yeah, it was. And overall, I'm looking forward to watching that Noah show. I'm off Tuesday, and I'm off Monday in the evening. So definitely going to get down to watching. I need to watch the Bloodsport shows as well, man. I'm planning on watching that tomorrow.
Have they? I went to one, when I was in the fall. They had ran some shows here, the GCW. I haven't seen any lately from Bloodsport, but I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, they had a show last night. Again, I can send you some links.
Yeah, okay. Come on, we love the links here, or the actual subscriptions that we pay for. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we do. The thing is, though, we because we watch so much different, I wouldn't say genres, but so much different types of pro wrestling. It's kind of, if we actually, subscribe to everything that we watch, we'd be looking at like $100 bill by the fucking end of every month. I'm not paying $1,000+ a year to watch myself some pro wrestling, so I'll subscribe to my favorites. Like I've got a subscription to NJPW World, and I know what it is. It is how it is. I'm not going to be but there is ways to watch the show on your phone, your tablet, laptop, and I won't be sending them out publicly. But, if you ever do need some, feel free to hit me up, anyone.
Hey, shit, you heard it right there, and we let us be y'all plug for shit like that. But man, this show got off because I'm gonna start. Okay, this road to Castle Attack, man, and this is. I don't think I've ever seen this situation on New Japan Pro Wrestling. I probably don't ever want to see it again on a live show. It was kind of weird because the first match we had, actually, I believe it was a dark match. I don't even think it was the first match on the show, but that was still aired on New Japan World. We had Yuri Yamura taking on a young lion, making his debut match, and this is, oh my god, this has to be, Nakashima, I believe is a young lion's name. He had a lot of praise he put on him. I was reading a lot of stuff on him on Twitter. People were looking forward to his debut here, getting ready to make his first, match here in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we got some chain wrestling, grappling exchanges to start this match as the bell rings. Literally immediately, LK, I know you saw this. As soon as the chain wrestling grappling situation happened, I saw it happen, and then like instantly it's like ding ding ding, you hear a bell ring, and I looked and I seen his elbow pretty much just it snapped. I was like, yup. And as soon as it happened, I was like, yeah, my man's arm is just like, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if he does. At the least, it's a dislocated elbow. Of course, I'm not a doctor right here, but match immediately was ended. He's in the ring. They, pretty much are coming. They have the staff come in the ring, and this is a weird part of the show because, like, immediately after that, they go to the stuff that you put on New Japan to where it's like, hey, the show's about to come on, or the stuff when they're doing the disinfecting. So I was like, this is really weird right now. So that was kind of an ominous start to the show.
Absolutely, and a speedy recovery on the young chap, and hopefully that isn't kind of a one that will scare him away from ever returning to the ring, because I'm like yourself, I saw a lot of kind of, I wouldn't say buzz, because it is in the end of the day a young line and there is the dojo system, but there was a good vibe, should we say, around him. There was lots of people who said potentially this guy could be great, and he came out, I was like, you know what, yeah, fair enough, he's in great shape, could be a great a junior heavyweight. And then, like you said, the mat work, and it looked, when I say stiff, I mean he was kind of tense, and obviously it's a big moment, he's going to be nervous. We do not know how long he's been training for. This is his debut match, and he was so tense and kind of stiff. So when Nomura, and this is not Nomura's fault, so hopefully people aren't going and blasting Nomura, giving him lots of shit online. He tried to do an alligator roll. He tried to go the alligator roll, which is roll to your right. And obviously the guy, apologies, what's the young lion's name? I didn't take notes of the show.
The young lion's name, his name is Yuto Nakashima.
Nakashima. So whilst the other guy's going right, his elbow is expecting to go left, but his body got twisted the other way, and it was one of the scariest things I've seen. Just literally his arm, the way it was just laid there, and credit where credit's due. He the ref rang the bell, and credit to New Japan for how they handled it and how quickly they handled it. They got so many doctors in that ring so fucking quickly that the well-being and the health of the wrestler was the priority. The show, just like you said, it was just got kind of just cut off, and yeah, cool, we got to see some video packages, but most importantly, hopefully this guy's all right, and more important than that, hopefully this isn't one of those moments where he's kind of like, we never hear from him again. Like, hopefully it's not one of those, because the guy did that great, and who knows, because this could be a future star that we're never going to see because of a mishap. In anything, it's a learning curve from him. He can now learn.
And that's the thing too, okay, instead of like delving too deep into this, and injury like that, it would be in his first pretty much televised match. You do not want that to scare this young guy off. And I think about a guy who, because you're talking about potential stars with New Japan Pro Wrestling, I think about guys, Yagi, who's not wrestling anymore because of injuries, because of when he was in his young liondom. I think about a guy like Kitamura, who was pretty much going to be, when I think about it, and this was crazy, I could be off base about this, but I literally think the Dominator gimmick that Okan has was probably going to be Kitamura, because I'm like, dude, he had the little like mouthpiece with the little like whatever the little sharp teeth mouth. He already had that. And I could definitely easily see him just fitting into this Dominator gimmick that Okan has. Maybe having his own little tweak on it, but I was like, I could definitely see that being him. But injuries happen, and they were like, we're going to use this for him. That's how wrestling is. It happened with Owen Hart and Triple H. You're going to be the game now, stuff like that. So I just hope this doesn't scare this young guy off, because I haven't seen much of him, but the stuff that I heard about him, people had, nice potential about him. And you can't blame Yuri Yamura for this. This is just a freak accident, man. This is people, like they say, the old adage, okay, this isn't ballet. So
no, and it's
will happen.
I don't know if you found this, but kind of everything else I kind of watched after, it was kind of like every, not even nasty bump, but every land and every other move that was kind of in, I was kind of a bit cringing, and it kind of, puts into reality how dangerous, it's little things that could just go wrong. And it's been so long since there's been an accident, an injury like that. I just wasn't expecting it when I turned on New Japan World. I was like, cool, Young Lions match, just get 10 minutes in to see what this kid's all about. And no, we got fucking that. It's, I don't particularly recommend anyone to go watch it, because it is pretty not a very nice visual. And, everyone should just send him nice wishes and not, because you know what the internet's like. Let's just not bash the guy or bash Yamura. Let's all just leave them both alone.
Absolutely, man. And that transitions us to the actual first match we had at the show. We had the Empire, the trio consisting of the Great Okan, who I view as the leader of the stable. That is just my honest opinion, because he's the one the most vocal about the stable right here. The hatchet of the stable, Jeff Cobb, and the reigning Rev Pro British Heavyweight Champion, the man, the myth, and in his mind, he's also a legend, Will Ospreay right here. So we get the finish of this match. We get, I think it was Jeff Cobb putting Gabriel Kidd away with the Tour of the Islands right here. But honestly, this match was as Tanahashi, pretty much the build for Tanahashi and Great Okan, because he's attacking Great Okan here out the outset. He hits him with a drop kick like to start the match off. So I thought that was pretty good right here. We get some nice exchanges with Kojima and Ospreay. I know they're probably not going to renew the rivalry, but the stuff that they do is still pretty damn good right here. Gabriel Kidd, like I said, he's another one. Continues to impress right here. Solid Mac work. And I just hate to even harp on the first match, but it kind of just shows you the difference between, I hate to say, an amateur LK and a professional. I hate to say it. You know what I mean? It's just like,
it's experience more. I think amateurs, in the end of the day, they're all pro wrestlers. I think it's more experience. Guys like Tanahashi and guys like that. They've got over a decade, sometimes 2 decades of experience. They're not gonna tense up when on the mat. But in the end of the day, it was, like you said, refreshing going from 2 young lions who within 60 seconds injured. To the experience level of these guys. So it was really good to see. Glad Jeff Cobb got the win. Kind of building him back up. His first time back since, Wrestle Kingdom time. So it's good to see Jeff Cobb back. He was on Bloodsport last night. Obviously, that means the show was taped. But he was on Bloodsport last night. Listen to this for a banger of a main event, which, again, I haven't watched. I don't know results for. Jeff Cobb and Chris Dickinson, man.
Oh man, who's also in New Japan Strong. Shout out to Dirty Daddy. I'm a fan of his as well.
Mm.
Definitely talks about All Japan '90s tapes. So shout out to the Dirty Daddy and shout out to my guy Jeff Cobb. Chris Dickinson's a guy who I wouldn't mind seeing in G1 Climax, but I think with the G1, this is kind of about you kind of need a little bit of name recognition, if that makes sense. Okay, like it's yeah, exactly. Like I love Chris Dickinson, but maybe not everybody knows who he is, so it's totally fair. I get it. I totally understand. So, but it was a solid trios match, and it brings us to the next match, which was actually another solid trios match in its own right. We have the Bullet Club trio of Yujiro Takahashi, El Phantasmo, and Taiji Ishimori, the reigning IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, taking on the Los Ingobernables de Japón trio of the Dragon Shingo Takagi, making his first return to the ring for pretty much essentially it's been like a couple weeks, I feel, since he wrestled Tanahashi. So making his first return to the ring here, he's teaming up with the Jet Black Deathmask himself, Bushi, and the reigning IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi, which I thought was interesting. Once LIJ made their entrance, Bushi and Hiromu came out to their tag team theme, and Bushi has his mask where it's pretty much half his mask and the half was it Kamatachi when he was in Ring of Honor in Mexico when Hiromu was doing it. He has a half Kamatachi, half Bushi mask. So it looks like we're definitely getting that tag team junior heavyweight feud going off and mixed in with the junior heavyweight title feud as well. So okay, this match started off. We get some athletic exhibitions between El Phantasmo and Hiromu Takahashi. We get some who can do push-ups better, who can do all these flips better. So we get a little comedic, I think we're getting a little bit of everything with the feud between El Phantasmo and Hiromu, because a feud with Hiromu, it's not going to be a typical feud. Like the feud he just had with Sho was pretty damn good, and they weren't beating each other. It was pretty much the same feud that he had that was going on with Sonata and Ibushi, but it was just kind of, I guess.
Please don't compare fucking the Sonata and Ibushi feud to Hiromu and Sho.
I was gonna say just ramped up a little bit more. So we got the tag team guys pairing off for this match. Solid trios match, but ultimately we knew going in, when you look at this match on paper, if you've watched New Japan pretty for a long time like we have, and I'm sure like you guys have as well, the people who stuck out like a sore thumb in this match was the Dragon Shingo Takagi and one Yujiro Takahashi. But Yujiro actually got a close near fall on Shingo Takagi towards the end of the match, and I was like, damn, now it's pretty damn close right there. But it was all for naught. Shingo puts him away with the last of the Dragon right here, and yeah, it's pretty much Shingo is almost in a limbo position. He's not as bad as Sonata because he has a lot more options, but it's pretty much where does he go from here? But then we're off to the races with these four guys in this junior heavyweight feud. So that's ultimately what this match is about. Solid trios match.
Yeah, hopefully they build up Shingo for the New Japan Cup that's coming up. Just kind of get him some wins and put him in a good position. And I just like you said on the... Oh man, we do so many New Japan shows, I forget which one. Whichever show it was where you talked about the seeding system. That's where that seeding system for the New Japan Cup for the G1 could really come in beneficial here, because, Shingo just picked up a win, so he's, going to be, say, in the top 10 now, or whatever it is. But, yeah, just building up Shingo. He did just take a loss to Tanahashi, dropped the belt. It's kind of back of the line type thing. But, yeah, it's good to see him. And the build-up for obviously, they're in a unique position where they're trying to build up a singles match with El Phantasmo and Hiromu, as well as the tag team junior title match with Bushi and Ishimori in. But the stuff was good. El Phantasmo is always great heat. I loved his entrance when he's there fucking shouting because they didn't dim the lights and stuff like that. He's kind of taken this kind of storyline that it's him versus the company. Like, he thinks the company's complete bullshit, and which I'm enjoying. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think they're doing a solid job, and remembering the fact that I think there's 4 or 5 nights of Kurikan in a row coming up. So I wasn't expecting too much build. So just good to see those guys get in the ring and a little taster of what we're going to get for the next week or so.
Absolutely, 100%. And I think that title match for the junior heavyweight title is on the 27th. I got to see when the tag team title match is going to take place.
If it's the junior title match is taking place on the second night of Castle Attack, and then the junior tag title match is taking place on the final Kurikan before the first night of Castle Attack.
Okay.
So I think it's 28th and 24th, I think.
The 24th and the 28th? All right.
Yeah, because night one is just special singles matches, and then night 2 is just fucking title matches galore, man.
Shit, Castle Attack indeed is going to be a show fit for a king. So, pun intended, man. And the third match we had on the show, LK, we got a tag team match. We had Kota Ibushi and a guy who seems like, even though I saw him and you saw him on the Giant Baba Memorial show, Yuji Nagata, it seems like he's really not on New Japan that often anymore. It's kind of weird. Like, they don't really use Yuji Nagata. And for that matter, they really don't use Minoru Suzuki that often. They use Yuji Nagata even less than they use Minoru Suzuki. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but I think they kind of do tours on and tours off because of the fact they're only doing 4 or 5 matches a show due to the pandemic. So yeah, I kind of, at least it makes them feel special when they come out and they're not, busting their bodies at their obviously respectful age. But yeah, it's cool because it's given time for Suzuki and Nagata to go do, like the Giant Baba Memorial Show. So you know what I'd love? I'd love it if these guys, when they're not booked, go to All Japan. Go to do some indies and some memorials, because it's, at the end of the day, it's promoting the brand in New Japan. I mean, I know it doesn't need promoting, but still, it's good to have.
Absolutely. It's, hey, I can go over here to this show. They might even treat me a little bit better than what I'm being treated in New Japan currently, so you get a payday. This kind of works.
And you get a payday. That should be one that we touch upon there. But no, it's they get to go out and wrestle and pass their knowledge on to the younger talent.
Absolutely, man. And they're actually taking on the duo of Tetsuya Naito and Sanada. And it's got to be weird for Sanada to be facing off in, I always think, especially in the New Japan context, because I think in other companies it's maybe a little bit different. But whenever you were, I think, paired off in a match, especially against the heavyweight champion, and you've just lost that match to them and you were paired off in a tag team match, it's such a weird dynamic because you're like, damn, I can't really interact with them at all. And honestly, Sanada and Ibushi pretty much had no interactions in this match. So I thought that was kind of interesting because it's like, wow, we just went from this title challenge to where Sanada or Ibushi's like, yeah, I don't really care about you no more. It's just like,
yeah, man, they should have swapped Shingo and Sanada, in my opinion.
I kind of agree with you because it just kind of it's just like they just kind of had this title challenge. He doesn't care nothing about Sanada no more. That means nothing to him what just happened. And apparently it doesn't right here. So to start this match, okay, we got Kota Ibushi and Naito. They have some nice chain grappling exchanges. And it's different from these guys because you normally think they're going, voop, 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 speed. No, they had some chain wrestling to start the match and they tagged that. I thought that was good. So they kept it to Sanada and they kept it to Yuji Nagata, who also had some nice exchanges in her own right. Sanada actually, or not Sanada, but Yuji Nagata actually teased the backdrop hold. And I thought he maybe could have got Sanada at that point. And I was like, damn, is he going to get him with this? But no, he didn't. He got the O'Connor roll. Sanada pins him. Sanada gets some much needed momentum, even though we do not know where this man is going. But we know Naito and Ibushi have a collision course for the Intercontinental title here at the end of the month. And so that's where we know where they're going. But Sanada, not so much. And Yuji Nagata is going to continue being a legend. I actually thought this was a really good tag match, though.
Yeah, roger that. Agreed. One thing I did like at the end of the match when both the belts are in front of Ibushi, he's just obviously he didn't take a loss, but his teammate did, so he's kind of checking on him. And Naito's kind of staring at him and also staring at just the IC title. I thought that was great. So you didn't have that with Sanada. They were fucking, what was it? Fucking hugging and fucking. That's what I said on one of the preview shows. They were just like fist bumping each other. With Naito and Ibushi, it is not that. It's Naito looking at that belt. We're not going to get physical yet because they've still got a few weeks of build. But it's looking at that belt saying, without physically saying it, I'm coming for it and I'm going to take it. Like, I thought that was really, really good. Sanada looked absolutely depressed as shit out there. I don't know if when he came out, I was like, I know he's cold skull and he doesn't show much emotion, but I kind of felt that vibe from him. Like, here we go again. Like, I've been here before and I'm going to be here again. But yeah, bless his cottons. I honestly think Shingo should have been in there. Imagine Shingo and Nagata going at it. Sorry?
I think they're going to book that match tomorrow night. I think it's going to be Shingo and Naito versus Nagata and Ibushi. So I think they're just pretty much alternating LIJ members, but still, Sanada shouldn't be in there right now with Ibushi. He just lost to him, and I'm sorry
to carry off there, but how about this? I talked about this on whatever fucking show it was. The idea of maybe Shingo pinning Ibushi on night one, because currently there's no title matches on night one. On night one, have Shingo challenge Ibushi.
I think I would be okay with that. I didn't look for that LK, but damn, that's like right after the cup though. You might be onto something with that. Maybe they just want to keep this tour about the IC title though. I mean, it could be that. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe, but Castle Attack's a 2-night show, so I'm thinking it's
I mean,
the Osaka Joe Hall.
It's probably the junior heavyweights probably main event the first one of the nights.
No, because they've released the cards and there's zero title matches on card 1 on night 1 at the Osaka Joe Hall. Every single title match besides the junior tag, which is taking place at Korakuen, every title match is on night 2.
That's ridiculous.
It's generally serious. The main event is Okada versus Evil on night 1, and then also they've got Yoshihashi against Tonga and Loa versus Goto, Ishii and Jay White. It's a stacked card, but when I was doing because I did a rundown of the cards, everyone, if you go back and check out on the channel, it was very strange. It's like you're doing a go home show. That's why I'm thinking, maybe are we going to get a cheeky little IWGP heavyweight title match on night 1, and then on night 2 you could have Ibushi against Naito.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's a possibility. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. The odds are slim. The reality is Shingo's going to pin Nagata. But just an idea floating around to make kind of a bit more exciting. It gets people to tune into these Road 2 shows. Like, anything can happen on these Road 2 shows.
Like, man, and that's so true. I'm just looking at how they just stacked the second night. Like, both of these are really good cards, but they just stacked the second night with so many title matches.
Yeah, that's going to be a long-ass fucking show. But yeah, like, I think in reality, you don't really need 2 nights, because they could literally just put Okada and Evil and Jay White and Ishii on night 2, and then just have that as one big fucking show. Because they're taking Osaka Joe Hall for, I think they're going to do an okay number for Okada versus Evil and Jay White versus Ishii, but there's no title match, or, it's kind of like, ish. I hope the numbers don't suck. Numbers by attendance, not
technically, okay, there is a title match on that show. There is the King of Pro Wrestling 2021.
Oh, come on, that's not a belt. That's not a belt. It's not a belt. But yeah, either way, Ibushi Naito already a much better job of build-up than Sanada versus fucking Ibushi. And I tell you what, I'm going to set the scene. So I worked overnight last night, so I came back, slept 8 till 12, woke up at 12. So at this point, I was a bit peckish, so I paused, made myself some toast. So I come back, have my toast, I look up, and my feet see fucking Sanada enter. Now, at this point, I've got the toast in my mouth, I take a bite, and I just look up, see Sanada, he just looks so fucking depressed, man. Like, honestly, I can't describe how fucking depressed he looks. Like, I don't know if you got that vibe, but it was, I just wanted to give the guy a fucking cuddle. Like, oh, he'll be alright, buddy. Worst case scenario, Vince is always there, mate.
NXT is cool.
NXT UK at this fucking rate, what they do with the Japanese talent. Fucking Satomura and fucking NXT UK. Fuck me.
That's ridiculous. I'm like, why can't she be on the main NXT? Whatever. Hey, it is what it is. And I forgot to actually have a show later on tonight speaking about NXT. Forgot about that. But yeah, Sonata looking like just a sad sap right now, man. It's fine, Sonata. If anything, Sonata should be just rooting for Naito to separate these belts, because that's really the only chance he's going to have at any title. Like,
he should go after Tanahashi and go after the Never belt.
He kind of should at this point, because
I don't think he can afford a title loss. Another title loss for whatever fucking title. I don't think he can afford a never openweight 6-man tag title loss, because it's just, I feel bad for the guy. Like, I'm kind of having banter at his expense, but end of the day, the guy is supremely talented. He is a really talented guy, but he gets booked in these positions. They kind of vinced him. They booked him in a position where he can't win. As in, he can't win in defeat. Like if that was a young up and coming wrestler and Ibushi had a banger with him, you could be like, you know what, the crowd respect him and appreciate his efforts, and he's going to become a star because of that. But with Sanada, it's like, oh, he lost again. Oh, he lost again. And it's like getting to the point where, oh, Sanada's in a world title match. Oh yeah, it's easy title defense. And it's not his fault, it's the way he's being booked. So again, these Sanada jokes are just literally just about the booking of him.
And I was gonna say it just showed you how much of a master pro wrestling mind that Tetsuya Naito has. He's already got this feud more intriguing than a feud with Sonata. It just shows you how smart Naito is about pro wrestling. Because even though like I said, he's my favorite wrestler, I'm being a little biased, but people gotta respect Naito's wrestling knowledge because it's probably second to none, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. I'm looking forward to this build. I really, really am, because like we haven't actually
more excited for than the Sonata match, to be honest. This is for real.
100%. And at the end of the day, when have we actually had a Naito and Ibushi match when they've actually been given 2 to 3 weeks to actually build it? Like, it's been G1. It was like at Wrestle Kingdom, they what? It was the tag league, and then it was just straight into kind of 2 nights of Road to Tokyo Dome, and that was it. But now we have some meat and potatoes and a great story to match with, fighting for the prestige of the IWGP IC title and keeping that belt alive. I think it's gonna be great.
It is, man. It's like, Naito going against this evil dictator that thinks he's a god in Kota Ibushi. So trying to get the belt off of him, man. And we got a couple more shows to talk about it. The build is already there. The build has been told, man. So yeah, now we got the final match of the show. Okay, it's an elimination match, pretty much pinfall submission. You get through all the top rope, you out of here, baby. So we got the Bullet Club team of Evil, Jay White, the Gorillas of Destiny, the reigning tag team champions, and the returning Chase Owens. Look at the SOS Wrestling Network return to Chase Owens, not only to the Cork and Hall of New Japan ring, but the return to New Japan, or the return to SOS Wrestling Network. To shout out Chase Owens right there. Met him in person. He's a pretty cool guy. Taking on the team, Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Toru Yano, otherwise known as Chaos. Like I said, in a 10-minute elimination tag right here. Pretty much the first guys eliminated are Chase Owens and Toru Yano, because he eliminates them. Their gimmick for the King of Pro Wrestling provisional title is going to be a strap match. They kind of were strapped together. He eliminates Yano, but Yano pulls him over the rope because he was eliminated. They were tacked together with the strap, so he's going to pull him over right there. So we got those first eliminations out the way. Hell is just breaking loose here at this point in court. Red Shoes has like no control of this match. So at that point, we get Evil and Okada getting their little spots in this match. So then we get Evil and Jay White getting their stuff in this match right here. And I think the next set of eliminations are Jay White and Ishii after that. Okay, I could be wrong, but I think those two guys are the next set of eliminations.
Yep, they both they kind of eliminate each other.
Yeah, because it was weird because I think Tonga Loa accidentally knocked Jay White down, and so then the referee was getting distracted. It was Red Shoes, and then Jay White kind of just pulls him down, and they tell Red Shoes to, hey, go over there and look over that, and he's just like, oh, he's on the ground, I'll allow it, and he just eliminates him. I'm like, bro,
that's not cool, because he literally could have just like went under the bottom rope, like that. These 10-man tag eliminations, I fucking love them. I actually really, really fucking love them. I think it's such a great way to tell an easy story. But like I don't like this whole, if Red Shoes sees someone on the outside, he'll ring the bell. It's like Ishii could have literally got drop kicked by Tonga and he just rolled underneath the bottom rope. But Red Shoes is like, yeah, ring the bell. Like, no, they need to chill on ringing the fucking bell, man.
It was actually kind of, I was like, dude, he, like you said, he could have just slid under the second rope. He could have just, I mean, there was so many just options that could have happened, but this Red Shoes, this is like, nah, it's just, So I think at this point we have the Gorillas, Yoshihashi, Goto, Evil, and Okada at this point. These are the last guys right here. And yeah, I think did Loa get eliminated first, or did Tama get eliminated? Because I think one of them definitely got eliminated first. No, yeah. It was Loa. That got eliminated first before him. Yep, it was Loa. Goto. I'm trying to remember who eliminated Goto, because Goto, I think he got eliminated. I think due to he got gun stunned by Tama Tonga over the apron. I think that's how Goto got eliminated.
Yeah, that's it. Because he was already eliminated, and then he cheated and got Goto out, and then Hashi and that went out, and then it was the final two were Evil and Okada.
Like, yeah, Evil and Okada, the last two. Like, we figured it was going to be right here, and when I saw it was going to be Evil and Okada, okay, I was like, it just makes so much sense for Evil to win this match right here, and that's ultimately what happened. But the way he won the match, it was not by any of this, we're going to have a straight up wrestling match right here. No, he pretty much, you got Dick Togo interfering, you know what I mean? He's choking with the garrote, so he's already on the apron at that point. But I think Evil needed to win this match, more than Okada did, because it just gives Evil that much more momentum right here. And he needs that momentum, I feel, more than Okada does.
Yeah, and the build-up is Okada wants to get his hands on Evil, so Evil just, cheating to win just makes you want to see Okada kick his ass even more at Castle Attack. So I think it was smart, good booking. And I love these 10-man tags. They are chaotic. They are fucking mental. They're so fun. I can't put them over enough. Again, it's one of the joys of these Road 2 shows. It's kind of like, even if there's just loads of tags, at the end it's going to just be a fun little story, a fun little ride. And I love how they do the intermission and they come back, and it's they get given a lot of time as well. Like, there must have been close to 25-30 minutes, so got given a lot of time. So they had lots of chance, and Jay White and Ishii with their exchanges in there, continuing to kill it. Mate, I'm going to be honest here. I think Jay White Ishii could have potentially be match of the year. I'm not exaggerating. Generally, the way they've been going at it, I would not be surprised that doesn't get a match of the year.
Yeah, the way that Jay White's wrestling right now and how Ishii has always been, that's definitely going to be a candidate for match of the year. I think even Okada might surprise some people. I don't think it's going to be as good as Jay White and Ishii, but I think it's going to surprise some people, though.
Yep, roger that, 100%. This Castle Attack tour, man, and I think because the New Beginning we were quite high on, and I want to talk about this before we wrap this up. Why is Sho and Hiromu getting a bit of hack for not being good?
I don't understand. I guess maybe they didn't do enough flips and kicks for enough people. I don't know, man. I guess when you have one style that you're just, accustomed to, if you just expect one thing and another thing happens, and maybe you might not like it. But I thought it was a damn good match. People can like what they like and they can not like what they don't like, but I thought it was a damn good, excellent match, and it was straight from the norm at what we get in a junior heavyweight title. And shout out to not only Hiromu and Sho, but shout out to Hiromu and El Phantasmo, because I think we're going to get that as well when these guys wrestle here later in the month. So if it's not the norm that you're expecting, maybe a Will Ospreay, Robbie Eagles, who's another guy here in the Best in Super Junior, ACH, if it's not they're not doing 450. Sometimes people are, I just hate to say it, it's like, oh, well, I wish he could have done. It's just because they're junior heavyweights doesn't mean they have to do a shooting star press. You can tell different stories without doing these high spots, and maybe people were expecting these high spots. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably fair, because in the end of the day they went 36 minutes, so you can't really expect it to be doing flip and high spots for fucking 36 minutes. But yeah. I was just curious because there's lots of kind of negativity towards New Japan on the old social media. Actually, before we get to that, so this can be the closing. What's your thoughts on FinJuice coming to Impact Wrestling and the new relationships with Impact? We'll do just briefly, because obviously I think it's worth doing a full show on the actual forbidden door, should we say, with AEW, Impact, and New Japan.
It's very interesting, and not only it's the matchups and everything can be potentially fine, could be potentially cool, whatever. But my thing is, and I want to kind of dig deeper into this, not even with the whole the forbidden door is open. I want to kind of dig deeper into why did not Harold May want to work with these people, because essentially that is the reason why Harold May is out from New Japan Pro Wrestling, is because they pretty much wanted to work with, maybe AEW, maybe some other companies. Harold May was adamant that he really didn't want to work with them. And I actually, when all this stuff was going on, I thought it was actually the opposite. I thought he was like, yeah, he wanted to work with them, And I was like, damn, Harold May didn't want to work with them at all. And then they're like, nah. So I would like to know a little bit more of the reasonings to why he wasn't wanting to work with these guys. I'm just kind of interested on that, just to see. We'll probably never know, but I would be just kind of interested to see why he was kind of apprehensive of wanting that to happen, because I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah, but wasn't he around when they left? So he might have been bitter towards them.
That's very true. He was around when they left. He was the president, or I forgot what his actual position title was in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he was there. He could have been slightly bitter when they left, and for all intents and purposes, and I hate to even talk about this too long, but when these guys left, maybe not like guys like the Young Bucks or like an Adam Page, but for Kenny Omega, when Kenny Omega leaves, I still believe if he stays, he beats Tanahashi and he's going to Madison Square Garden. He's dropping the belt to Okada. We don't even get a Jay White title reign. He doesn't even win the title yet. And shout out to Dave Coco for this, because he actually put this in a video just probably a couple weeks ago. And he said that he felt that Jay White winning the title, when he did win the title, when you look back at it now, it kind of like hurt him more in the long run than it did. Because and then I thought about it, I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of agree, because if he had not won the title up to this point, okay, think how big of more of a story that would be. You know, it's just like, damn, he ain't won the title yet. He's hungry for that belt. Like, he's won the title before, but it was a short reign. But it was just like this thing kind of, he's like, damn, Jay White ain't got there yet. He should be there, but he hasn't got there yet. Just think how big, much more of a story that would be.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be really good. And there's always money in the chase. So, yeah. I think
maybe he was a little bitter toward these guys, but I don't know. I'm cool with Finjuice. Ultimately, my long ass answer. I'm intrigued to see what Finjuice does over here at Impact Wrestling. My thing is too. The one thing that I kind of, I guess, don't like about when we have not necessarily invasions but interpromotional stuff. I don't mind if you have people defending their titles, and hell, having even once in a while have a title change just to kind of like switch it up. But I don't want Finjuice to be like the Impact Tag Team Champions is over here in New Japan. It's like, oh, we're the Impact Tag Team Champions, because like then when you get too many belts, it muddies the water. I feel, like.
Yeah, but then also remember, if they do win, they can do stuff on Strong and promote Strong. And I honestly think this year is going to be a big year for the New Japan USA brand. Because I think Kenta Moxie's going to do good business. I think you get Finjuice in there. They come over and defend the Impact Tag Champs against the Regal Twins, for example. Or you can do some Young Lions, and I think honestly, this year is a great year. Hopefully, WWE starts getting attendance again, and they pull their finger out. And then also, New Japan doing stuff with Impact and AEW, and then you got Noah kind of not reborn, but they got a new logo, and it just did Budokan, and they're kind of on a bit of a roll. So fucking touch wood that last year wasn't a great year for wrestling, because obviously the pandemic and stuff, but touch wood this year we really kicking and rolling.
Absolutely, man. And at first maybe I was a little bit apprehensive too, but I guess I've kind of grown to get excited for it. So I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen with all this. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with the Castle Attack show. Going to finish the rest of that Noah show so we can bring that to y'all, man. So yeah, this is, aside from the young boy and their speedy recovery to him, this is a nice solid show. And this show was literally under an hour and a half. You take out the entrances and the intermission, hour and a half, speedy view. I'll watch all the matches aside from the first one. Pretty enjoyable.